Hello everybody and welcome back to Armor Coating. I'm Reno King and this is one of our worldwide headquarters in my garage. And this is my brother Ray King. He's going to be helping me out today, do a little stuff, just kind of an example. Now I'm going to go through a couple things. I'm going to talk about how I used to do my tumblers, whether it be Yeti, Arctic, Ozark Trails, or any of those other name brand, just stainless steel tumblers in general, and some stainless steel bottles. Then I'm going to go through the operation on how I lay my stencils down and do single color coat colors, with the logo being the silver of the back of the cup. So first I want to introduce you to what I used to use. I used to take a piece of sheet metal and some aluminum foil. And I take this sheet metal, because you know all your powder coating needs to be grounded, and I would just wrap it around this and put my cup right there on it. And that's how I coat it. The bad thing about this is that the bottom ring of the cup would always stick to the aluminum foil. Then I'd have to take a high-speed 90-degree grinder, or actually there was a buffing, 120 grit buffing sander on it, and I would go around the edge of the bottle. It was a little bit time consuming. And then I went to a Columbia coating class back in I think May of last year, in 2016. And when we were down there, they said they were coming up with some stuff. And I took a little trip. I was out of town for a while, and then I came back, and in October they released the cup stands from Columbia Coating. And I've been needing, so I could have fabricated it, but truthfully I don't have a welder, and I didn't really feel like sitting around trying to configure something. I was just hoping somebody would build something that I could use and it would be versatile. And you can get them from Columbia Coating in a 4 kit, a 2 kit, and a 1 kit. I bought all 3. And they come, each set comes with the stuff to coat your 20 ounce and your 10 ounce stainless steels, your 30 ounce, and this one right here works on your koozies, your 36 ounce bottles, and your 64 ounce bottles. And they work awesome. I had a little trouble kind of figuring out how I was going to do the 36 and 46 ounce bottles, but I figured it out. You just drop this on the bottom, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. The second thing I'm going to go over is applying the stencil. And I have 2 30-ounce cups that I'm going to apply these fallen outdoor stickers, and I'm going to paint it with some transparent coppers from Prismatic. You get prismatic powders just about from any, from a lot of powder dealers. Columbia Coating has a really great selection, or you can just order it from them. Depending on where you're at, you know, the shipping and stuff like that varies. I order from both people. Sometimes one place will be out of stock, the other place will have it, so I get what I want when I want it. So that's the end state on that. But I have a ton of colors to choose from. I've built up a really good inventory on the amount of colors that I can do, and even when I do have a customer that comes up and says, I want this particular color, which is very rare, I'll just order it, and I'll get it for them. And either one of those companies, Prismatic or Columbia, will be right there to help me out. They're pretty quick shipping. I can order on Monday and have it by Wednesday or Friday. But that's how I used to do my old style stuff. This is how I do my new style stuff. I just put it on these cup stands, and I can use it. This is for the 30 ounce. I just put it on there, plug it up, and there's a little clip that I thought I'd put right here. Oh, here it is. I use this clip. Some people use some vice grips to put right here on the bottle. I don't even bother with that. As long as it has a good seal, it don't take me very long to coat it. And even then, I just pick it up and just move it with my hand back and forth. It's no big deal. Just work with what you got, you know. Whatever works best for you, that's the more important part. Whatever makes you comfortable and have a really good way to coating, that's going to help you out. There's a lot of ideas out there. Everybody's idea is different. But when you're sitting here in your space doing your thing, do what works best for you, you know. And that's why I'm here, just kind of give you some ideas about what I do and how I figure stuff out. Because I'm kind of a cheapskate. I built a lot of my stuff. I had my brother help me with a lot of my stuff. We did a lot of things. Me and him built this big oven, this big silver oven right here. It took us a couple months to do it, but we figured it out. So now what I'm going to do is just go over basically how I prep a cup. It's pretty easy. I had some trouble in the beginning because I thought it was easier, but as I worked through it and got some ideas, I found out this guy is your biggest friend, a blowtorch. And you're like, what is a blowtorch for? Well, come to find out, a blowtorch in the Powder Coating Company is a really great tool. You can use it for almost everything. If you just give me a second, I can get some gloves. A blowtorch does a couple things. So no matter what kind of rag you use, I use a lot of microfiber, but it still leaves lint. No matter if it's supposed to be lint-free, you wash it a couple times, you get some nasty paint on there, because I also do Cerakoting. It just doesn't come out right, it might be a little rough, you'll still get some drier lint on it and stuff like that. So what I did is found out that a blowtorch does two things. It'll burn off all the moisture, and it'll burn off, well, actually it does three. It'll burn all the moisture off, it'll heat this ring up, which has a bad problem about bubbling your paint, and then it also will burn off any lint, and it heats the cup up. So it's almost like preheating your part, because now the heat is kind of radiating away from the cup, so any dust that comes near it kind of just comes right off. So it's a great tool to powder coating, period.
And also, you know, when it radiates the heat off the cup, when you outgas it or heat it up with the torch, it keeps lint from collecting back to the cup.
Yeah.
While you're in the process.
It's too easy. And simply what I do is just kind of wipe this cup down with some alcohol. I use denatured alcohol on my cups. Wipe it down real good. Try not to touch it with my fingers. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but when I'm looking at it, I see the moisture burning right off of there. I have a really clean, extra clean product. So it's a little warm. I'll wait till that cools down a little bit. Do you mind handing me one of those other stands? I do a lot of different colors. I'm going to do two separate stands this time. But when I'm doing a cup of the same color, I'll use the same stand. But today I am doing two separate colors, but I want to go through this and for y'all to see how I coat my cups, because I leave these stands here. The other stand I keep a similar base over there, and I'll just pick my cup up and take it over there. So all my powder coating, even my little rubber stoppers, are still over there. And I'll show you what I do, because I get powder on these in between coats and I don't want to get the powder in there. I'll just run a little, one of these alcohol rags around the edges of it, cleans the powder right off just like that. Great product from Columbia Coatings. These actually save me tons of time. It's too easy to operate. And they keep the, with that, there's a metal cap right here. It touches the inside bottom of your cup. Just latch my grounding device on the bottom of this stem right here on the base, and I just coat all day. So I'll clean this cup up, let it cool down a little bit, and I'll apply my stencil. And then because I'm touching it and stuff like that, I'm going to rock it down one more time. I'll show you why. And I to use these. I have a vinyl cutter from US Cutters, and I use High Temp Paint Mask by Avery Vinyl. And this is rated around 200 degrees. And it's important that it's rated around 200 degrees because when I paint the cup, I set it in the oven that I have at 385 because that's the temperature that I know at about 1 minute to a minute and a half, I could pull my cup there and my vinyls don't roll on me or come off the cup and they're still in pretty good standing. So what I'm going to do now is apply this vinyl. And I have my little vinyl scraper right here. Actually, that's still a little warm. Let it cool down a little bit. So while that's cooling, I'm going to talk about another thing. So when I put my cup in there to cure for 1 or 2 minutes, well, a minute and a half, I'm using a particular powder. I'm using a transparent copper from Prismatic. Transparents usually are pretty fast at liquefying. The flash point's pretty fast. And when I pull it out, the cup's kind of hot because I've already kind of preheated it. If I go ahead and pull that stencil off right then, the paint will come off like string cheese. And it'll mess your logo totally up. So what I do is just let it sit there for a minute. And I'll show you here in a minute. Well, when I pull the cups out. But I'm not going to show you how I mess up because these are actually going to a customer down in Texas. The Fallen Outdoors. They're a veteran organization that takes veterans out and does some guided hunts and stuff. I just learned about them, so I couldn't tell you any much more than that. But I figured I'd do them up some cups. But yeah, that's about ready. So the whole vinyl thing is, well, you just get better with it, laying the vinyl. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But I just eyeball it and I've gotten pretty good. And I'll take my scraper and make sure it sticks to the transfer tape real good. And then I'll just slowly take it off and it comes right off on there. And now it's ready to lay. And I just try to find a good flat edge because the tape's not always cut straight, but I see the Outdoors is pretty flat. So I'm just going to slowly lay that guy on there. I messed it up. Whew. Usually you can't pull them right back off. Alright. Slowly lay that bad back on there. There we go. Put it up a little too high. And there you have it. Fallen Outdoors. And then just remove the transfer tape very carefully. This has got some thin lines in it, so I don't know how well it's going to try to stick. Fishing rod and stick. So sometimes they use tweezers to get these really tight vinyls off. Sometimes they don't want to pull right. Alright, there we go. When they're thin, they
yeah, take caution and remove them because you'll pull them.
Yeah, if they stretch, it's pretty much over. You're just gonna have to make a new one. Just kind of roll that up a little bit. I know it's probably hard to see what I'm doing, but once I get a little edge going, boom, right there, it's on the cup, ready to paint. And then, kind of just easily wipe it down over the vinyl. Make sure all my stickers are stuck correctly.
Minute cuts where it recut, can leave little pieces as well, and you need to remove them.
I got a trick for that too. And then let's burn that alcohol right off. I'll try not to go over the stencil, but I can just hit it real quick because it's pretty high temp and it won't curl up on you at all. It's pretty good about it. And I usually center these right above the Arctic or the name brand on the cup.
And there's different strengths of that transfer tape too. Some are harder, you know, I have a harder adhesive than the others. And you don't want to get it too hard because then it's hard to have it release the vinyl after you're trying to apply it.
I always get, on the first, I got really strong strength. I didn't know really what I was getting. I just kind of started doing it. And I researched a lot of this stuff because there's not a whole lot out there to help people out. You know, if they want to powder coat in their garage and stuff, you just got to figure it out. That's another reason why I'm doing these videos, guys, just to help people out that want to do some powder coating in the garage. I'm gonna put these trade secrets out there. Everything that I find out, there's no sense in you not finding it out. You'll find it out sooner or later by trial and error. So there we go. You got another one right there. So what I'm doing is, what I'm going to do is just take this, take our 30-ounce cut plug. I'm going to take it over there. And I'm going to leave it because I'm not going to plug any cups right here. So we got that. We'll get a little powder going. And yep. Well, this is the first color. I'm just going to shoot straight out of the tip. I can control my powder a lot better with it. Like I've said in other videos, I'm using a Columbia Coating Cool Coat 2.0 DPW, and it works great.
It's also real important to, after you get paint, get your powder out of your bag that you're using to wrap it back up so any contaminants can't get down inside your powder.
Yeah, always keep your stuff covered up. I mean, it's a powder coating shop. Stuff's always flying. There's dust everywhere all the time. I also have my sandblaster right here next to me. Sometimes I'm painting and sandblasting in the same day. Just, you know, be cautious about it and figure it out. You know, we might be in a type of working space like myself. So I got that all hooked up. I'm gonna run about 80 kV on these guys. So I'm gonna take this 20 ounce. You know, I'm gonna take that right out of there. I'm gonna set it right here in my powder booth area. So I'm all hooked up and ready to go.
Here's your clip.
Now some things I do use my clip, but here lately, when I first started using my gun, I clip it or whatever, but as long as it's in there, you're good. I don't ever have any problem.
And
Don't forget your ground too.
tell us what pressure you normally run on your gun?
You know, it's a gauge on the pressure. Every paint shoots a little different. So I like to have kind of like a cloud smoke. And you can see that's a little too fast actually for me coating. And it also depends on what you're coating. It's a big project, you want to get paint everywhere. If it's a small project, you just want paint on that project. So you're gonna have to judge. Right now, I'll say I'm running like 3 psi, not very much, which is plenty for a small cup like this. And you can just shoot it, and you see how even it goes on. I don't know how good you can see back there, but it just works out really fine and just goes on really, really good.
And it's kind of trial and error too to learn what your paint thickness is, because it's kind of hard to gauge it, to know how thick you're getting the paint. It's just, you know, trial and error until you get it down what thickness works best.
Well, usually I have a flashlight down there. I might have a one, but if I don't have a flashlight, I'll just put it up to my lamp up here.
And you can see where the background, either the stainless or whatever you're painting on top of, can shine through. You kind of tell by there.
I'll turn it up just a little bit. There we go. And you can also tell by how you're coveraging what PSI you need it at. So I didn't think I was getting very much paint out of there, so I just changed my PSI. Turn it up a little bit. So I'm going to show you one more trick. So I got my paint cup painted real good. Sometimes powder will go up under the cup, or if there's like a defect in the metal or something, it won't seal it off. So powder will actually go up inside the cup. Really easy trick to defeat that. Just give it a little shot of air under there. It'll blow out any powder. No big deal. So we got our cup painted all nice and transparent copper light. Now I'm going to put it in the oven for a minute or so. I'm going to double check that. I thought I seen a light spot. Oh, that's all good. So I'll put it in for a minute and then I'm going to pull these stencils for you guys. Give me something to drink. So while we're waiting on that minute, hey, please let me know if y'all would like to see something particular. I'm going to keep making random videos about how I do everything and how I operate on a daily basis. But if you guys want to see something, y'all have questions that you want answered, or maybe some tips or tricks, I don't have everything. I can do some research on it and try it out. And I don't know everything either. I've only been doing this for a little over a year now, but I can make a video about it and you can see my trial and error versus your trial and error, and we might be able to both pick something up from that. So always my blow off valve. It's another bad thing about working in a tight shop. So there we have it. 1 minute. Just use my pliers. So you see how that cup right there, it's just got a light sheen. The powder hasn't flowed very good. There's still some dots in it, but I'm gonna let it set and cool down because this powder will actually real stringy when it's hot.
Isn't that the polyester?
It depends, because I've had other paints. The texture paints work really well with cups. You can pull stencils off those if those are the outside textures. Over paints, over transparent colors and stuff like that. Texture paints are really awesome. They're very forgiving on mistakes. I love working with textured paints. All the rivers, veins, arteries, whatever. I love it. So just let it kind of cool down. And then you can do a test pull. You can just reach down here and kind of pull the edge a little bit. Look at that. Boom, that's good. So once you get the first one, I'm going to be in your way. Once you get the first one, you just go ahead and start pulling. And it's super easy. Just be careful because the paint's super delicate right now. And if you use these metal tweezers, they will scuff the paint up really easy.
It's soft.
It is. It's kind of tacky, like something dried sugary on something that's kind of sticky, real tacky. But we'll put this in the oven for another 15 minutes, which is plenty time. Like I said in my other videos, you can always undercure your product if you don't leave it in there for very long, but it's very hard to ever overcure your product.
When you're removing your stencils, it's always good to go back and look, because there could be fine lines from where the cutter, the vinyl cutter has overcut lines. There'll be fine hair-like parts of stencils on there that could mess up the paint once they go past their temperature point.
Yeah. But hopefully, here in a month or so, I just got a laser engraver, so I'll be trying that out off and on, doing some test runs with it. And hopefully in a month or so I'll have a laser engraver with a rotary attachment that can actually just do all of this. And I just cure the cup, put the program into the laser engraver program, and it'll cut all this out for me. It burned the powder right off.
And have you run into any problems like when you have a big stencil layout on a cup, as while you're removing the stencil after it has flashed in the oven, has the cup cooled down too much for you while you're removing the stencil?
It hardens the stencil up, and that's really easy to defeat. Just put it back in the oven for a minute.
And reheat it again, just lightly.
Look. Nice, clean. Looks good. Now we'll finish it.
Set that on us 15 minutes.
We'll start the next one. So to keep from powder getting in the inside of my cup, because I had it on the other one, just wipe it off real quick with a alcohol towel, and that's it.
And sometimes when you're spraying with the powder, doing multiple cups, it can clump up on the end of your gun. Sometimes it helps to tap your gun to shake off any built up powder on the end of your gun while you're spraying it, so it don't spray out clumps. It's all even. Well, I've had a few problems like that. It's all good.
Ready to do a little 2-minute
You
stint?
want to blow that out?
Oh yeah, blow it out.
Do you have another? You need this one?
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm at 13 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this stencil, and when we're done, I'll show you the finished product. Alright guys, I just pulled these guys out of the oven. Not just, I'll let them cool down a little bit, just so you can see them. So we got 2 awesome cups for a great organization. These cup stands work really awesome. I highly suggest it. I mean, you could probably fabricate stuff, but let's face it, if you're powder coating, you really ain't got time to do this. I didn't. A lot of things I do build, but I don't have a welder. I'm doing this in my garage. I just went and picked these up. They're not very expensive. I don't remember how much they were, but I know within the first month, I paid for all of this with what I made with them. So you can't beat it. You can pay for them within a month. If you're doing cups, you know, I do tons of cups. I started my business out originally to do all cars and motorcycles and ATVs, but I wound up doing 90% cups last year. I'm just now getting to where I'm doing more and more other stuff. So just to get you a really up close look of these cups, really great color. And this is a transparent copper from Prismatic Powders. Come out perfect, you know. The bottoms are perfect. No bubbling around the edges because I
Outgassed with the torch.
Because I used my torch and wiped them down with alcohol, took off any contaminants. And these are great cups, and the customers love them. So if you're new to powder coating, if you're doing it out of your garage, maybe you got a business, doing cups is awesome. I give away cups all the time on my Facebook page. Armor Coating on Facebook. You should check it out. I give away free cups twice a month. Check us out. I mean, I just like to give back to my customers to help everybody out. Give back to my subscribers. So I am working on a jig so I can do rims here pretty soon. I got them built. I need to pick them up. But I'm going to do a couple of test runs with them to get everything squared away. But sooner or later, I'm going to give a free set of rims powder coated. You bring me your rims, I'll coat them for free, 100%, shipping and everything, given to you from us at Powder Coating or ArmorCoating.com. So. Check us out, you know, watch our videos, like and share, spread the word, because we're going to be making these videos all the time. I'm just going to let everybody know how it's done and how I do it, at least. Thank you for your time. Also, a big shout out to Columbia Coatings. These guys are really awesome, got really great setups for awesome prices. You can't beat them. I haven't found anything that does, especially coming from a little guy like me. These guys really help me out all the time. But thank you again. Shout out to my brother who's helped me put a lot of this stuff together. And my son over there, he's in the corner. Great kid. He comes down there and paints with me. Y'all have a good night, and thanks for tuning in. Please like and share, comment, get the word out. Have a good day.